What's going on, guys? It is the Lone Courier here, and I'm here to talk to you guys today about Infinite Warfare multiplayer. Now, yes, I know we've not had any kind of gameplay or anything, but I just want to talk about the multiplayer overhaul because I think, now don't dislike spam the video, but I think it might not be that bad. Now, yeah, shock horror. Honestly, there is a few things that could make this multiplayer good, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. And it's just stuff that I don't want to see left out in the multiplayer, you know. I just don't want to see the game flop because, well, I really do still like Call of Duty, you know, and it's just I don't want to see the game fucking fail because I would actually quite like playing this game this year. It's just if the game is awful, you know, I'm not going to play it, but if it's good, I'm going to play it, and, you know, I fucking want it to be good, you know. I'm not trying to be negative for being negative's sake here. So, yes, a few things that Infinite Warfare's multiplayer definitely does need. And whoever, that just getting into the first part, whoever worked on the connection or just the servers or the hit detection for Ghosts, please fucking come back for Infinite Warfare, or I hope they've not fired the guy, because whoever did it was fucking great at their job. Seriously, the hit detection and connection in Ghosts was fucking great. Now, I'm not trying to sound like I love Ghosts or anything here, because yeah, it's done a few like fucking unforgivable sins, like how fucking big the maps are and shit like that, but for the most part, it was actually quite enjoyable when you were playing on maps like Strike Zone and stuff, you know, the smaller maps. That was enjoyable, you know, when you had good hit detection and the connection was working fine. Ghost connection was a lot better than the last two Call of Duty games, I'm going to be completely honest. It's way better than Advanced Warfare, and it was also way better than Black Ops 3. And it's just Ghosts, you know, people complained about how quick the time to kill was. You know, people are like, oh, it's too fucking melty, you know, you just get shot once and you die. And it's like, no, it's just that's how good the hit detection is, you know. In Black Ops 3, the hit detection is fucking awful, you know. You shoot someone about 2 meters left of their fucking forehead and it still will get you a hit marker. It's ridiculous. But Ghosts was actually pretty good in terms of hit detection and shit, so yeah, whoever worked on that really needs to come back for Ghosts, or Infinite Warfare. I keep fucking up that title. Whoever did that needs to come back for Infinite Warfare, because he did a damn good job on Ghosts. And it's just something that was a little bit wonky in Black Ops 3, you know. The hit detection was questionable, very, very questionable, and quite controversial as well, because a lot of people think it's the worst it's ever been. Personally, I think it's pretty bad as well, but Ghost was pretty good in terms of hit detection and connection. You know, still to this day, I can play in pretty good connections. You know, I might have a little bit of lag every now and then, but that's understandable, because it's almost 3 years after the game came out. It will have lag, and there's less and less players, so that means I'm playing with people from, yeah, really far away regions. You know, I might be playing people from Asia, I might be playing people from fucking America, Russia, Europe, you know, stuff like that. So it's quite good how good the connection is. Well, it's quite a good thing how good the connection is when the game's so far out of its life cycle. But yeah, another thing I want to see come back for Infinite Warfare, or just sort of be changed a little bit in Infinite Warfare, is the movement system. Now, I've been around Call of Duty since like the start, you know. Well, not the start, I've been playing since Call of Duty 2, or it wasn't Call of Duty 2, it's Call of Duty Finest Hour, which I think was a spin-off title of 1. It's quite weird how Call of Duty used to work, you know, but that's basically the first game that I've been playing it since. And honestly, it's been kind of weird seeing how the games have changed over the years, you know, and just seeing how people have reacted to the games so differently over the years. You know, originally people used to, you know, people used to hate the older games like they do these games. That's the thing, you know, when people played MW2, there was a lot of people hating on it, saying, oh, this is the worst Call of Duty ever. You know, just shit never changes, you know, when people are like, oh, this game's fucking awful. It's never changed. People were like that originally. And if there's one thing I really want to see return for Infinite Warfare, is more like the Black Ops 3 movement system. And we've heard that from Infinity Ward themselves, you know, they've actually said that. But it's not good enough that a developer has actually acknowledged it, because a lot of the time developers will say stuff that doesn't actually come to fruition in their games. One of the prime examples was probably fucking Watch Dogs and how good it looked originally, and then when it actually came out, how bad the fucking graphics were and shit like that. You know, it's Infinity Ward might be saying it's going to play like Black Ops 3 now, but who knows, when the game comes out, it might play more like Advanced Warfare. And personally, I want it to play more like Black Ops 3, because Advanced Warfare, I did actually enjoy that game, don't get me wrong, but the thing is with Advanced Warfare is it was just completely no chill. It's like you're playing in the fucking finals of the Call of Duty Championships in every single lobby, because everyone was just sweating their nutsack off. Most of them were all playing with scuffs and drinking their fucking G Fuel with their control freaks. And it was just too sweaty, that game, you know, it's just fucking insanely sweaty. When you go back and play the older Call of Duties, you can actually have a more relaxed time, which is why I play Call of Duty in the first place. I don't play Call of Duty for the competitiveness. You know, I think Call of Duty as an esport is fucking retarded, but yeah, whatever, that's just a side opinion. I don't play Call of Duty to be competitive as fuck, you know, I play Call of Duty because it's quite a easy as fuck game that's easy to relax with, and if people think it's worth taking seriously, you know, whatever. But it's different from playing games like Halo or playing Doom and stuff like that, because when you're playing Doom or Halo, you know, you're obviously trying a bit harder because these games are more skill based, and it's just in Call of Duty it's meant to be like this relaxing fucking bro shooter, and yeah, I just want it to be like that, because in Advanced Warfare it definitely wasn't. People were playing so damn seriously, like they were playing to fucking win every single time. And I mean, fair enough if you play to win, but I mean, these kids were fucking like playing for keeps. It was ridiculous. But Black Ops 3 definitely was a bit more relaxed, and that's one of the things I did enjoy about the multiplayer when I was playing it quite a lot. You know, lobbies like Free For All were just really enjoyable. You know, Free For All in Black Ops 3 was just fucking fun. You know, it was one of the best game modes in that game. And, you know, it's just a bit more relaxing because nobody was boosting all over the place, and it just made the game a lot easier. Because in Advanced Warfare, one of the most annoying things was just the verticality. It wasn't just the boosts, it was just the verticality and shit. Because, you know, you're shooting at somebody 1 second, and next thing you know, he's about 20 feet in the air, he's got a jump shot headshot on you. And it's like, dude, that wasn't skill based. That's, you killed me because you boosted up in the air and got a fucking lucky flinch headshot, you know? It was just so wonky in that game, you know, just because of the boost jumps and the verticality. And Black Ops 3 did a pretty good job of it, you know, even when you use all your thrust meter just to boost up in the air, you're probably boosting about 10 feet off the ground, and that's quite a good thing because it just, you know, you don't have to look up in the air all the time, which is quite an unnatural thing to do in an FPS, so, you know, just reacting like horizontally is a lot more easier than reacting vertically, which is one of the most annoying things in Advanced Warfare, because a lot of the combat was more vertical facing rather than horizontal. So, you know, it's just, if it's going to copy any of the recent multiplayer games, it has to be Black Ops 3, because Black Ops 3 is one of the more relaxing games, and it's just a lot more enjoyable. And fair enough, Black Ops 3 wasn't perfect, you know, it had really bad hit detection, it had really bad lag as well, but for the most part, when you had a good connection, it was quite an enjoyable game, to say the least. A few other things that I want to see come for Infinite Warfare is, I've heard that there's going to be like thousands of weapons. This is based off a video that Drifter made, well, this opinion right here, and he was just talking about all the weapons that are apparently in the game, and he's like, oh yeah, there's going to be like hundreds. I just hope it's not like variants and shit. I mean, in terms of variants, there is ways that you can do it right. Warzone from Halo 5, for example, obviously you've got the variations of weapons. You know, you've got the base variant, which is, you know, it's easy enough to get, and then you've got some fancy variant which might have a boost in melee damage so you can one-hit kill somebody, and that kind of stuff's cool, but not in Call of Duty, you know, it's just variants have never been good. But if it's more like marksman variants from Advanced Warfare, I think that might be okay. That's one of the things I did actually enjoy about that game. Not the variants like the Obsidian Steed, but the variants like the average Joe HBRA3. You know, these weapons, you'd unlock the marksman variant at 300 kills, and I really actually did enjoy that. You know, I thought that was a really cool addition to the game. You know, some of the weapons might actually play differently than the basic variant. For example, the BAL 27223, which was the marksman variant of that weapon, had a really high fire rate, so you could treat it more like an SMG and stuff. And it was kind of cool how those guns worked, you know, it's cool that you had marksman variants, and it gives you something to work towards, you know, having marksman variants for all the guns was pretty cool. Another thing I want to see for this game is just challenges, like as many as Advanced Warfare, because in Black Ops 3 I don't really feel like doing the challenges too much, you know, it's just a bit boring, but in Advanced Warfare the challenges were actually rather quite interesting, and they did reward you with like customization options. You know, in Black Ops 3 all you'll unlock is like a calling card, and it's pretty boring just unlocking a calling card for doing quite a bit of grinding But in Advanced Warfare, it actually gave you like character gear for your character, and that was quite cool. You know, it's one of the few things I did enjoy about the game, character customization and the stuff you get from multiplayer. So overall, I think Infinite Warfare, if it borrows the best ideas from the last 2 games and also sticks to the more traditional formula, it might be pretty good, you know? I mean, fair enough, a lot of people aren't keen on boost jumps, but I feel like if this game just has to have boost jumps, you know, bottom line, it has to have them. I feel if they copy Black Ops 3, it'll be a lot better, and it'll probably go over with the community a lot better as well, because I don't think many people are exactly wanting 20 feet in the air exo boosts again. So if it's like Black Ops 3, that'll keep the community satisfied for a year until Sledgehammer reveal whatever they're making. I've heard there's going to be a World War II game, so whatever it is, Infinite Warfare, you know, it better tide us over until the next game, which is obviously nobody knows. Some people are trying to speculate, but fuck off, nobody's gonna know by now. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you've got any opinions on what you want to see from Infinite Warfare, leave them in the comments, because I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.